Warning! The following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. If you're not mature, off. What is up, my fellow geeks? Welcome to the Beers and Geeks podcast. That's right, you got a special format today because guess what? We got a panel show today. I got a guest here today, bringing in one of my old high school friends, the Beer Wolf, Bocce. Ian, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, for old time's sake. Let's get it cracking.
Love it, the Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's
Good
a classic.
to see you, my brother.
Cheers. All right, everybody get your beers ready. Because, you know, here at Beers and Geeks, we talk beers, we talk geeks, and got tons of movies behind it. Love it. Love it. Don't get more
brother.
geek than that. And so, how's everything going? Been doing for the pandemic? Been streaming? Been watching stuff?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of streaming. I think since the original pandemic back in March, I think we've added 3 more streaming channels to the family household.
Nice.
I think.
Yeah, because we're about a year at that now, eh?
Yeah, almost
Crazy.
a year. I think when we first started, I think we only had Netflix, and I think we've added Disney and Crave, YouTube Premium. Spotify. I think we've just started expanding more to streaming just because it's the only thing that's been available.
That's all you can do. You get new content, and fuck, to be honest, who wants commercials? Who the hell wants commercials? I don't. Didn't want them when TV was the only thing going on. I don't fucking want it during a pandemic. But so out of all the streaming things though, on Crave, now I know I'm not going to go into our topics right now because I threw a curveball. It just happens, man. But on Crave though, have you watched the Goldbergs yet on there?
No, but I did see that one. That one's on the top of the watch list.
Oh no, watch it. It is fucking good. It's a family in the 80s. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Remember when you got your camera?
Yeah.
Like filming everything. The main character reminds me of you because that's what he does. Like back
everything.
in the 80s style, it's friggin' gold. You'll love it.
Yes.
I'm like, as soon as I saw, I'm like, oh, this has Bocce written all over it.
I know, and the thing with adding all the streaming services too, it's just there's so many things that are on the watch list.
It's too much.
Keep bumping. It's too much. And when you get that big bundle with Crave that has HBO and everything, it makes it even worse to try to pick something.
Well, the reason why you have to get that, so you get the HBO and everything. So when Dexter comes in, you're going to get Dexter right away. If you miss it when it airs, well, I can just watch it as soon as as soon as it's done airing, it's going to be there for on demand. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's so tough to pick something. Some nights I go 20 minutes, half an hour trying to pick something, and then I end up watching The Office for the 12th time.
Well, remember back in the day, you have to set up if you had to work, you had to set up a VCR, record it, and sometimes it didn't even fucking work. So you get home and where's my show? But now nowadays with that Crave, you're sweet, there's my show. I did that with Game of Thrones a lot because I normally work on Sunday nights.
I was just gonna say Sunday nights, The Simpsons. If you had to work, back then, and you didn't set up this is before PVRs. If you didn't set up your VCR, you don't get to see that episode again until they maybe rerun it again
in the summer. Yeah. Well, fuck work. I'm just talking about wrestling. What about wrestling pay-per-views?
Oh yeah, that too.
Once a month, I knew I was missing a Simpsons episode.
Awesome, brother. Awesome.
All right, so we're gonna get speaking of streaming though, so Disney Plus. What do you think of this week's episode of WandaVision? I think the show's been fucking awesome lately.
I think it was a great episode, and in classic Marvel fashion, they just did not address anything that happened at the end of the episode the week before. Anything with
Agatha.
Yeah, anything with Agatha or anything with Jimmy Woo or any of the other characters just disappeared. And I'm not sure, did you stay after the credits to see Pietro there at the end? At the end when she's looking down into the cellar.
Oh, crepes! I think I'm an episode ahead of you then.
Oh, are you?
Did you watch episode 8 yet?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, where Agatha's got the kids at the end, and they go through the whole backstory of Wanda and the Mind Stone and everything.
Yeah, because at the end of the episode, I just saw there was a Vision end credit scene.
Yes, that's the white Vision. That's going to be
Yeah.
Hayward's Vision. But the episode before that, the after
Oh,
credit
yes, yes, yes.
the after credit scene has
Yes.
Photon going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like they didn't address any of that or Vision on the way to the house.
Yes.
It was just a pure Wanda episode. So I was just like, they're not going to give me any answers on any of that. That this is just all Wanda and Agatha.
You know what I really liked about it too, about the episode was like going through all the Avenger movies and everything like that when Wanda was introduced. Like she basically that's all she did was watch sitcoms.
Yep.
So basically, it's like someone that just grew up on TV. It's like basically remember the Transformers animated movie?
Absolutely.
Remember the Planet of Junk? We talked television because that's all they had was TV. We talked
Right.
TV. So that's basically how her life was. Is she watched television, so basically she related everything to a sitcom. Like at one point in high school, I think I almost related everything to either Seinfeld or The Simpsons because that's just how it happened. They predict the future.
Absolutely. We lived in Seinfeld quotes for years. And like if you weren't a Seinfeld fan, you didn't know what we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
And that's right, like we were saying about like her introduction and everything. And I think it's really nice to see these new shows coming out, and we're going to see more. This is only their
Mm-hmm.
first like original content on
Exactly.
Disney Plus. Like this is the first one. Like we're going to get Falcon and
Mm-hmm.
Winter Soldier in a couple weeks, but we're at the infant stage right now where like Netflix, you're over a decade old. Like look at what they do with original content. Imagine a decade from now what Disney Plus, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel,
Well,
what their original content's going to look like.
mhm. Well, think about it. Netflix, like when you bring up Netflix, they had Daredevil.
Yeah.
That Charlie Cox series spawned all the other the Netflix universe. Like that we got Jason or John Bernthal as the Punisher.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome Punisher.
Yeah.
And Charlie Cox is Daredevil. Sorry, Ben Affleck, but this guy has Affleck beat.
Yeah. And they're just going to erase that the same way they're going to erase Reynolds as Green Lantern.
Yeah, but Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern, if you would have gave him an actual Green Lantern script instead of
Yes.
a knockoff Iron Man script, it would have been great. Just
Yeah.
like how they tried to make Justice League Avengers. That's why I can't wait for that Snyder Cut. But we're going to get into that later. We're talking WandaVision now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so fans, sit tight, grab those beers, enjoy, get those drinks going. Oh yeah, but like the thing that I like about WandaVision though, there's so many friggin' Easter eggs like throughout the Marvel Cinematic
Yeah.
Universe. Like they're like here's something from this, something for this. Like here we're gonna give you like a little insight to something coming on later on. Like it's just so good.
And like in the original episodes too, with like the fake commercials and like the hint at Strucker and
Yeah.
just the stuff relating to Stark. And like that's what I thought the last episode was really cool. Like you gave me some Thanos in a TV show. Like I know it was only like a
Hmm.
small like snippet of it from Infinity War, but like okay, this is where you're going with it.
Oh yeah.
You're going to expand your universe beyond what any of us think is going to happen. And I think with this and what they're going to do with Black Widow happening during the Civil War era movie, that they're going to start making all these shows and all these other things based around what has already happened. And I think that's the tough thing watching WandaVision is that, like, I've already seen Spider-Man Far From Home, which happens after the snap. But WandaVision is set literally a week after Endgame. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're right into it. Like, everybody else,
Yeah.
Thor just left. Guardians are gone. Cap's old as fuck. Sam
Hmm.
and Bucky are doing their thing. This is a week
Yep.
later, and she's gone there. So you got to think, okay, this is the timeline I'm in for WandaVision, but everything else is in a different timeline, and I think that's what I like the most, and that's what I'm
Hmm.
most excited about seeing all of this content being put out there.
Well, the thing is too, like for the first time ever, they're really going into how strong Wanda really is.
That too, yeah,
And they finally called her the Scarlet Witch, which I actually popped for that.
yeah.
When like when she said, "You are a Scarlet Witch," I was like, "Yes, finally, someone calls her it," because that like she is so friggin' powerful, it is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like
even in another episode, I think like 3 or 4 episodes before, they were like, "Oh, does she have an alias?" And they're like, "No." like no name. It's just Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah, that's it. Like everyone else, like her brother Pietro, he's Quicksilver. Nope.
Yeah.
She's Wanda the Scarlet Witch. And that's the thing too, and the thing that if people don't know much about the comics, like with Agatha, they don't realize that she actually how familiar are you with Agatha before I actually got into this?
I wasn't too much before WandaVision, but then I started digging.
Okay, so you at least know she was her mentor and showed her how to actually use her friggin' magic.
Yeah.
Because if everything's going the way I think it's going to go, either we're going to see maybe a glimpse of a Mephisto, or we're going to get a glimpse of into Nightmare character, because Nightmare is going to be apparently the villain in Doctor Strange. I cannot wait for Doctor Strange 2. The Multiverse of Madness. It's technically the first horror movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, and Sam Raimi's attached to it, which is awesome because I love his Spider-Man
Bruce
movie.
Campbell pop, we're going to get a cameo.
We're gonna.
I can't wait for that.
I know.
Well, heck, I still remember you and I going to see Spider-Man. I know we talked about this off air and stuff, but I still remember us going to see Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire and everything.
Yeah.
And then,
So I'm just taking you with me.
Okay, that's cool. I thought you were going to show a Spider-Man thing or something.
No.
Oh, okay. But I remember we're going to go see Spider-Man, and the ticket guy was dressed up Star Wars. He was so pissed off that we're going to see, I think it was Attack of the Clones. I think it was Attack of the Clones or something like that. Whatever Star Wars movie was out around the same time Spider-Man was, two for the reaction. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And I love Star Wars.
I totally remember that. And that Usher just being so ridiculous with us.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, I've seen Star Wars. I never got to see Spider-Man on big fucking the way that they did it. Sam Raimi's a good actor. He's really good.
And I was really surprised that they kicked Scott Derrickson off. But I'm not upset that Sam Raimi's taken over.
Well, the thing too, don't forget Spider-Man 2. He actually said, when they're naming Doc Ock, guys with Doctor Strange, that's good for taken. J. Jonah Jameson said, that's taken. They already referenced Doctor Strange. They always want to get that.
Well, and two, if you're thinking about what Sam Raimi. Sorry, man, I was checking on the boy. That's what happens when you try to. That's what happens when you try to podcast when you got a little son. If you think about what you think about what
Padawan.
What do you think about what
you gotta take care of him?
What Sam Raimi was doing after Spider-Man? I think it kind of was the same deal with Tobey. They were just kind of overwhelmed with it.
Well, the thing was with Tobey, they fucked him with that third movie. They tried to jam too much into a script, and nobody had the balls to say, this is going to ruin the fucking movie. Nobody had the balls. Nobody. No. Now imagine if we had in Spider-Man 1, the first movie, right, reestablishing Eddie Brock already working at the Bugle, and then finally in the third movie becomes Venom. That I could understand as an end credit fucking scene. So he could deal with Sandman through the entire fucking movie. But no, he has to deal with the Sandman. He's got to deal with the fucking new Green Goblin. He's got to deal with Venom. It's like come on, this is too much. It's an ADHD movie, it felt like.
Yeah, and you can't give proper screen time to each villain either.
No, but we have enough time to give him a fucking emo dance montage. We can't have character development, but we can have Peter Parker dance in the streets of New York.
I love that they reference and make fun of that at the beginning of Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, so good. So good. But the funny thing though, we're getting off topic because now we're talking Spider-Man. Got the shirt on, so kind of put that in there. The third movie is gonna be fucking awesome. If the rumors are true that we're gonna get all three Spider-Men together, fuck yeah.
I
think for an end battle, I think Doctor Strange is showing up because I heard that fucking that all these movies are gonna have something to do with it, with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and he's going to need Spider-Man. He's going to need him somehow.
And that's like to get a little off topic, but this is a good topic. I think, well, at least my idea or what I think is going to happen is, did you see the release lately where they released the 3 fake titles?
I have not seen the video, but I've watched many videos of people describing it.
So they released 3 fake names and then a real name for it, like No Way Home, right? So my theory on the fact is that there's the multiverse and that those 3 other movies are going to be, the Tom Holland Spider-Man and his crew getting lost in the multiverse, and they're going to kind of visit each, whether it's the Tobey Maguire, the Andrew Garfield, and they're going to kind of bounce through all that with doctors. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think that's kind of where they're going with it. Is he's going to, because No Way Home, right? They're kind of lost in.
I think I know where you're coming from now. Okay, so basically so we'll get let's say the start of the movie is the Peter Parker shit and all that, right? Then now we're getting near the third act. Now we're going to get to the third act. Third act, he gets sucked into in a vortex or whatever, and Doctor Strange got to get him fucking back. So he'll end up in Tobey Maguire's universe.
Yeah.
So he'll end up, since Doc Ock is re-signed.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So maybe he pops up during Spider-Man 2 and helps him during that fight. And then since Jamie Foxx is in there, he ends up during Amazing Spider-Man number 2 and helps him during to try to do something, because this is what I would do if I was doing the Spider-Man. Because everyone is begging for Miles Morales. Me, I'm not, because we have not got a full Peter Parker story yet. That's why I'm not begging for Miles Morales.
Right.
I like Miles Morales as a character, but to get to him, you have to kill Peter Parker. And you cannot kill off this Peter Parker. You cannot kill off this Spider-Man, because he is the best Spider-Man of all 3.
Yeah.
Because.
Agreed.
So what I'm thinking is, you have Tobey Maguire in his universe somehow gets defeated by the Green Goblin like it is in the comic books. He bleeds out and dies in the Ultimate comic books while he's fighting the Green Goblin. Yeah. But something like that. So Miles Morales would come from the Tobey Maguire universe. Because in the Ultimate universe and the regular Marvel universe after Secret Wars came together.
Yeah.
So if we do something like that, with the multiverse, so then you can have Miles Morales and you can have Peter Parker in 2 different universes going, which would be fucking awesome, because you could tell 2 different Spider-Man. And guess what, Sony? You could release 2 Spider-Man movies a year, and it's 2 different stories.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think maybe they're gonna do the Arrowverse route, where they're just gonna go to different worlds and kill all those previous characters?
Well, that's how the Spider-Verse was, though.
Yeah,
the original Spider-Verse, not the movie, but the Spider-Verse in the comics. Because I spent a shitload of money. I got every single issue, and I also made sure I bought a shitload of Spider-Gwen, the first printing. That is going to be a good investment. I have the variant that's worth $3,000 right now.
Awesome.
So no one come to my house. I do not have that comic book. It is in a safety deposit box in the bank. So do not come to my house, okay?
He lives at 124
Clarence Boulevard. It's right by the trees.
Yeah.
In the bushes. In the shrubs.
Is that your bush? Is that your special bush?
That's my bush. But okay. But that's where you get. I forget what I was talking about, because that was just actually funny. But about the Spider-Verse. Okay, so there's a group of people called the Inheritors. They feed off of Spider-Man. They're basically vampires. They go around in the multiverse and they literally kill and eat Spider-Man. That's what they do. And it was fucking awesome, because in one of the universes, well, actually the main universe, Doc Ock took Peter Parker's body and became the Superior Spider-Man. If you have not read that comic, I suggest you do, because that is a great series.
That one I haven't read, no.
Oh, Dude, as soon as I found out about it, I did. It was a Spider-Man with balls. Like honestly, like Doc Ock kicked the shit out of people. He's one of my favorite Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
he he literally he gets a team of Spider-Men, and then another guy gets a team of Spider-Men. And they all eventually team up to fight the Inheritors, but Doc Ock was solid in that. Like sure he went a little crazy because that's what Doc Ock does, but he's
Absolutely. Yeah.
really
Well,
good in that.
who wouldn't go crazy after what happened to him?
Well, exactly. Well, see, the thing is, Doc Ock is dying of cancer, and he ends up switching bodies with Peter Parker. So
Oh,
he
right.
finds
Okay.
out who Peter Parker is as Spider-Man, and he becomes Spider-Man. And he's pissed off that Spider-Man's not a doctor, so he actually finishes college for him and everything like that. It's like, well, fucking, what do we call doctor? No, it was really good. He breaks up with Mary Jane because that's the way. That's the only way to keep her safe.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Spider-Man's always worried that he's going to get, like, someone's going to fucking hurt Mary Jane. So the only way to keep Mary Jane safe is to break up with her.
And what was it, the second or third one that they explored that? Wasn't he like? And that's when she starts going with Franco's
Third
Harry,
one.
right? Third one,
Yeah,
second
the
one,
third one.
third one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And
That's right.
with that though, but Doc Ock also builds these spider robots that patrols the city for him. So if something's going on, like let's say a burglar at a jewelry store, those robots will call the cops for him. So Spider-Man doesn't have to go there and waste his time. So Spider-Man
No,
only considers
that's awesome.
like he'll only go deal with supervillains. It's like if it's not the Vulture, someone have to actually beat up and take care of, let the cops deal with it.
Yeah. The Rhino shows up to the bank.
Yeah, then he shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's just Joe Schmo or me at the jewelry store, like, call the cops. This loser's over there. Go get the Z-list criminal.
Yeah. That's great.
But that's how good Doc Ock was as Spider-Man. Like he took a logical thing, like because Peter Parker was too emotional.
Yeah.
But fuck, we're talking
Oh,
WandaVision, but here we are on Spider-Man. I love it. But that's
that's
what's so
okay.
good about that's what's
It
so
all
good about Geek Talk, though.
it all ties together in Spider-Man
Well,
with
we had a
Doctor
good
Strange.
flow. It wasn't like we're like, hey, we're just gonna skip a topic. No.
And
Like
like
WandaVision's a good show, and if people don't like it, they can suck an egg.
an Easter egg.
Because there's
And
12
like that's
of them.
that's kind of what the show is kind of reminding me of. I'm not sure if you read the book, but I'm sure you've seen Ready Player One.
Actually, the funny thing is, I have not watched that movie.
Oh, okay, man. I know you, and I know you're gonna watch it, and then you're gonna want to watch it like 10 minutes later, just
Well,
like
see
when
the well, the thing was, it was one of those movies that everyone just kept hyping up, hyping up. So I figured, like, if I watch it, will it be like, Ksh, don't watch, like in the like on How I Met Your Mother when the glass shatters.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and I'm
man,
like,
trust me,
oh,
you'll love it.
okay. If
But
it's
like
coming from
it's
you, then I trust it. But
the
everybody else is like, no.
the whole thing is about Easter eggs and just like just stuff from your childhood and like growing up in the era and the age that we are, it'll speak to you more than most people would. And like that's the thing with the Marvel movies too. Like I just saw a thing on Twitter where people were talking about, why does Marvel decide to make these PG? And I think it's so they'll have a little bit more lasting effect and people can watch it with their families. Like,
Yeah, but
I
the
I,
comics were
I
PG.
for the most part, yeah, to start off, yeah, and like I even
There's no
have
nudity or tits. It's
no,
always like
but
covered up
I
with
think it's
shadow.
I think it's more of a like from a ratings or like
Or
standpoint.
like the blood and killing, right?
I think it's the violence. Yeah, like I would have to wait until like when he's like 10 years old, I could show him the Avengers, right? But I can't show him Deadpool until he's getting high with a bunch of his friends when he's 16 and they watch it. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but
it,
that's also like a uh like a, a milestone. It's like, okay, you reach Deadpool age. It's like when we want to drink a beer.
yeah,
Or legally, I mean legally. Like when I
illegally,
can
yeah.
legally go buy a beer, it's like you can legally go now. Oh sweet, I've been drinking for 4 years before that, but
Yeah.
thanks guys.
That's what I mean. Like, how long were you watching Showcase and a bunch of shit you probably shouldn't have been when you were like 15?
Hey, if I didn't watch that channel, I wouldn't have the life I have today.
As Canadians, they should do one of those heritage moments things where it's like Showcase Friday night.
Part of your heritage.
You know what I mean? Like we were blessed to grow up with TV that wasn't censored.
Well, think about it too. We also grew up with shows that basically told us like, "Hey, Billy, don't pick up that syringe off the playground." Who's going to a playground with syringes on it? This ain't Detroit. This is Canada. Actually, no, that's Toronto. Actually,
It could be any major city, to be honest.
no, it's true, which is terrible. But those are the cartoons we had, and now the
Absolutely.
cartoons they have growing up today, they don't meet up to that standard. Because I'm not gonna lie, Hasbro has a fucking 24-hour 7 stream of GI Joe.
Awesome.
Sometimes if I'm like looking for something to like, if I can't find anything, I might throw that on every now and then. Like they show everything, like Rise of Penthor, Rise, like the full 5-part series. Like they don't get into the GI Joe movie or after the movie,
Right.
but they get into like everything. Like so, you get like the original, like the pilot 5-part series, the 5-part series afterwards, everything. And when you're watching, it's like I had that guy, I had that guy, I had that one.
Yeah. I had that ship, I had that truck, I had that tank.
Well, fuck, like the only thing I didn't have with GI Joe was the SS flag, and you can't have that because literally kids had to have a whole room just to keep that fucking thing in. It's bigger than a coffee table, literally. Like how much was that thing? Like $200?
I know, right? Like where did like our parents or anything, like where did they store these things? Like when you see these, like even the big giant Millennium Falcons, like where do you put them? Like
Well,
is that Raphael?
it sure
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
from the remake collection.
Oh, okay.
They
Nice.
remade the original '90s turtles that we used to grow up with.
That's amazing.
I have all 4 turtles plus Splinter and Shredder,
Of
and then you
course you
get
do.
Pop and Rocksteady still.
Yeah.
I have them
4
still on the
baby
box.
turtles.
And what did I find? 4 baby turtles. But speaking of Millennium Falcons, like I have like a where is it? What is it?
There you go.
Yeah, it's like right up there hanging up.
I
So
see it.
I think it's the Micro Machine one, or I have a Lego guy in there. That's all that matters.
What do you I know we'll talk Star Wars in a little bit, but one question here. What, what do you think about them killing Han Solo?
Well, first off, it was kind of shitty the way they did it. Like, first off, Han, what are you doing going up there against a Jedi or a
You
Sith?
know, you've hung out with Luke long enough.
Well, first off, remember the first one? He's like when he was like ripping on the Force, like, yeah, I can't compare to a blaster. Well, how'd that blaster do ya? Your kid friggin' killed ya.
Yeah.
Bad, worst father ever.
Get him
All
a
I know is
T-shirt.
that my kid will not kill me because literally they know that I love them. Han, did you show love? I don't
No,
know.
you showed that Wookiee more love.
You left them the first chance you had every time. Like every chance Han Solo had a chance to bail in Star Wars, he did.
Yes, he did.
And Han shot first. I love it. Like
Yeah.
Greedo was going to kill him. That's why you have to shoot first.
Yeah.
But that was the good of Han. Han was like he was like a lone wolf, like like a rebel. Like I marched by the beat of my own drum. No one's gonna break in my stride. He's like one of those
Nobody's gonna pull
guys.
me down.
Yeah, and then someone gets in his way. He's like, "Fuck this guy." Like,
Believe in the ball and throw yourself.
that's why Leia loved him because he was such a badass. Like like imagine Han Solo like working at a farm tending to goats. No, he's got to be out there fucking pirating. Yeah, that's what he was. He was a space pirate. He
Yeah.
was a smuggler.
Everything he had, he stole.
Exactly. Even Chewie. He stole Chewie. I don't know he didn't, but
Yeah.
it's just funny to say.
He may have. We haven't gotten that backstory yet.
Well, we did in Solo a Star Wars story, but it was kind
Yeah.
of shitty, and people tend to forget that movie. I
Yeah,
unfortunately bought a ticket to that one, and
I had a little bit more hope for that one, but love Rogue one of my favorite Star Wars.
that was the only thing out of Disney besides The Mandalorian that was good.
Yeah.
The only thing. But the thing though, but that pissed me off about Rogue One was the ending.
Do
you want to know why?
The Vader part? The Vader part or everybody
No,
dying?
not the Vader part. When everyone got killed.
Oh, everybody got
This
blown
one
up by the
pissed
Death
me
Star.
off. Okay, so this one planet gets hit, like in the middle of the movie, gets hit by the Death Star. They're flying around. They actually had time to run to their planes and get there. Okay, so they fly up to this one guy. Hey, buddy, you want to come with us? We can take you. No, I'm going to die here. Okay, have fun, loser. See ya.
You're
Boom, we fly away. So then they're on a planet. You have your droid. You beat up another droid that looks just like your droid. So you don't copy your droid into that other one so you can have two of the same droid. No, we're just going to leave this one incapacitated. We're just going to do that. But
just leave them.
so, boom, Death Star hits. We're gonna walk to the beach and just watch it. We're not gonna run to the plane that we had time to on the other plane and fly around and pick up that other dude. No, we're not gonna do any of that shit. We're just gonna be like, hey, we're gonna die here. Okay, let's just die. Come hold me. No, let's get to the fucking plane and get the hell out of here, man.
Yeah, at least give me a Sarah Connor on the fence, like,
Yeah, exactly. Or at least like, let's get to the fucking chopper. Come on, get to the plane. Let's go.
no, we're gonna
We're
die here now.
coming. Let's go.
We're gonna die on the beach now. Let's do it.
That's basically it. That's what bugged me about it. I was like, okay, you can literally, if you had enough time to get to your plane and fly over to pick up that one dude at the building,
Yeah.
you had enough time to like go from the beach and run to your plane. But if it was at the other end of the thing, why don't you have a communicator thing so your plane fucking flies to you? It's Star Wars, man.
I know you can.
Like you have lightsabers, you have the Force, you have guys that can literally choke you from not even literally choking. They can just go like this and it happens. So you're telling me you can't have something in your communicator so your plane fucking flies to you? No autopilot? Hey, Pullman beacon, come to me.
Yeah,
No.
she was able to like do the computer thing at the top to send um the code up to Akbar and shit. Like, come on.
It's a trap.
Too good, my man.
But you know what the thing though about Star Wars? It kind of feels like they're turning their back on their fans. But you know who's not turning their back on their fans? Zack Snyder.
Yes.
I'm pumped about the Snyder Cut. Like, here's some, I don't know if I told you this off camera or anything, but I have not even watched Justice League yet.
Yeah, I hadn't, and then I think they added it to Netflix or whatever it was.
It was on Crave.
Was it on Crave? Yeah.
Oh
And then
yeah.
I was just going through the one night, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
Do
Like
you have
I've
to
seen
take a
it.
dump? You're like, oh, I'll throw it on.
I saw love Man of Steel. Batman versus Superman was okay. Didn't really like the way they did the whole death of him, and Doomsday was kind of
Oh,
garbage.
thank you, because I want to stop you right there because you brought up. Okay, so we brought up Marvel and Incredible Hulk, right?
Yeah.
Do you think with the technology they have to make Mark Ruffalo a fucking awesome Incredible Hulk, you figure you get Joe Schmo to look like a fucking actually almost look like Doomsday? Like look how they did Thanos.
Yeah.
Like in the Endgame and Infinity War. You're telling me you couldn't do that so we can have a proper looking Doomsday?
Well, like, no, I mean, like, not even like Thanos level. Like, you couldn't even give me Abomination in the Incredible Hulk level.
Thank you.
Like, it's kind of what they. It looks like that's what they tried to do. But like,
Yeah.
like even scale to size and everything, and just from reading that comic so many times as a kid, like, I was like, you guys you mailed it in. Like,
They
you went
did.
for the least effort possible.
Well, fuck, look at Lex Luthor. Terrible.
Oh yeah, that's
I didn't
garbage
know if
too.
he was
Like,
coming on to him or wanted to kill them.
I mean, I think that was kind of. I get why they did it, but I think
We
it
need
was
to
a
fix your
bad.
camera though. I can only see the top of your. There we go.
There you go. Um, I get why they did it, but I think the choice to do Lex Luthor was wrong. Like, I know they want to do that main villain or like the one that's most known in the Superman world. But they should have just skipped past that. That's why with the Avengers, they like to a comic book fan, Thanos is really big to you, but a lot of people were surprised that they chose him to be the main villain for that kickoff for the Avengers. But it turned out to be the best option they had because
they kind of had to, because once you bring in the Infinity Stones, you have to go with Thanos because that's his gauntlet. That is Thanos' thing.
Well, and that's the thing.
But the way they did it over what, 12 years?
Yeah,
20 years it felt like.
20. And yeah, anybody who has read that comic knows those hints that they're like, even at the end of Age of Ultron when Thor's like, okay, that's 4 Infinity Stones that have surfaced over the last few years. It's not a coincidence. Like when he says stuff like that, or he has the dream and you see the gauntlet, like
yes.
you know that storyline's coming. But they couldn't use, unfortunately, they couldn't use any of the X-Men or Fantastic Four, which have, as you know, a huge part in that comic.
Well,
so
Reed Richards.
They had to do with what they could.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is too, like with DC, they gave us Steppenwolf, right, and like no Darkseid.
Not in that version.
That's what the original version, right? But Zack Snyder's like, no. Like he had Darkseid and shit like that. So if you're telling me you can make a Darkseid, you could have made me a fucking Doomsday.
You could have.
Like the death of Superman. Like I did a video of it. It was one of the most epic things that happened in comics, like throughout my lifetime, because like those comics were sold out at the fucking stores. Like, oh my god, Superman fucking dies? Are you kidding me? And like I have the obituary hanging up like right over there on my wall, like for Superman. And so that to me should have been done as Superman dies. You do it as a 2-part series. The first one is Doomsday escaping the prison that he was in, like building up and like to him fighting Superman. So basically, like he kills the Justice League, like how he did in the comics, and he doesn't kill the Justice League, but he beats the fuck out of them. Then finally, Superman shows up, and then he fucking strikes a punch. Boom, end of the movie. Then everyone's pissed off, like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? Then boom, you get so the first movie would have been Doomsday. Then the second movie is Death of Superman. Doomsday, Death of Superman. And where it has the whole fight, everything. And then once Superman is dead, then we go into Reign of fucking Superman, where you get Steel, Last Son of Krypton, Superboy, Man of Tomorrow, where you can have 4 other characters, where you can have extra fucking movies for DC, where you can have you can have 4 Superman movies in one fucking year. Then one of them becomes the major fucking villain, and then boom, you get Superman coming back to life. Then you resurrected Superman. Then you got a whole bunch of more other shit to go into. And then we didn't even get Brainiac yet. We never even gotten Brainiac. See, if Mark Zuckerberg, I forget his name, that's why I called him Mark Zuckerberg.
Heisenberg.
Yeah, Heisenberg. If they would have made him as just a regular human being controlled by Brainiac, Batman v Superman would have been a way better movie because of that.
It would have been, and it's so.
But that's just geekdom though. That's just saying, like, well, this is what I would do in hindsight. Captain Hindsight here.
It's so unfortunate that DC had the opportunity from the very beginning to use their universe to their full expansion. Like they had the properties to everything. But Marvel was still able to pull off a better universe with limited characters that they were allowed to use. DC had everything. There was no contracts. There was no holding them back to using any character they wanted. Like Marvel couldn't use the X-Men. You couldn't use the Fantastic Four. You couldn't use the Punisher, Daredevil.
Yeah.
But DC, you could have used anybody. You could have used Suicide Squad. You could have used the Joker.
Because they all used Warner Brothers. When Marvel, they're like, hey, we're gonna go with Fox. We're gonna go with Sony. We're gonna go with these guys. Like they want to circle jerk everybody. While Warner Brothers like, fuck this. You're all under our label. Like we had you since Batman. Actually, no, they had him back for fucking the Superman movies. Christopher Reeve.
Did you see that article that came out recently that Marvel offered Sony $20 million for all their properties around the time
I
of
mean, 20
Spider-Man.
billion, right?
$20 million
M?
for
Not a billion?
no, a million. So when Spider-Man came out, Marvel offered Sony $20 million. Like, here, you can have all of our properties. You can make any movies you want, whether it's X-Men, whether it's whatever. This is before all that. And they turned it down.
Oh, yeah, because that's when Marvel was bankrupt.
Yeah,
That's when they're really hurting because the comic book industry it took a real bad hit.
Late
Like
90s,
it took like
2000.
yeah. Rocky Balboa punching me in the gut. That's how bad of a hit it was. Like it was down like a sack of bricks.
It was around, I think, around Millennium time, a little afterwards. I think when digital stuff became more aware, more internet in the house, and people stopped buying physical comic books. So that it's good. It's good to see it's came back around like vinyl and other things too. Like there are collectors now,
Big
but
wall of comics.
It did take a huge hit where the advertising and just like also at that time video games were taking over, right? Like your PlayStation, your PlayStation 2, your Xbox was coming out, so kids were playing video games more than reading comics.
Well, not just that too. Also, for some reason, comics like you brought up a great point was the advertising. We lost the cartoons because growing up, had the X-Men cartoons, had the Batman the animated series, we had Spider-Man the animated series. There was a lot of good animated cartoons.
That's after rewatching
and the action figures too.
After rewatching it recently, the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s is probably the best superhero cartoon ever made.
You know what the funny thing is though? Spider-Man only throws like 1 or 2 punches in the entire fucking series.
I know. I just
love
that you see him interacting with the X-Men or with the Punisher or with Captain America or Iron Man.
It really gets into the life of Peter Parker more than anything else. Not just Peter Parker, but the life of Spider-Man altogether. Like everything. Like dealing with work, school, Mary Jane, dating, everything, which was so good about it. Like that is my favorite Spider-Man. But then also, for a fun cartoon, I do like the Ultimate Spider-Man.
The Ultimate Spider-Man is good too.
The best one.
I've a lot of the ones that I wasn't really familiar with, I've gotten a chance to with Disney Plus to check out all the other ones.
Spectacular. Did you watch that one yet?
I watched Ultimate Spider-Man was the last one I watched.
Ultimate Spider-Man is really good. I like how they bring
that was really good.
Like it had a couple of jokes like when 2 guys go to fight, they go versus like that. That made me laugh. Like that's fucking awesome. I popped for that.
That's been great. Yeah, watching all those and the old X-Men cartoon too. And
X-Men was good until the last season when they changed the animation.
You noticed it right away with Jubilee. Like, okay, this isn't the same show.
Well, you know, it's right. And then Beach, it's like when you see him animated Spider-Man, you're like, where the fuck did the black thing come in his hair? Where was that? Like he looks more like an old man gremlin than he does as Beast.
I totally agreed. I stopped watching it after that and just restarted it.
I did that as a kid. That's when I stopped watching it. That's when it's like, you know what? I think it's time we play some NHL hockey or some video games until wrestling comes on at noon. So now 11:30, fuck you. I'm going to play some video games.
Absolutely. So we're only about 2 weeks away from Snyder Cut. I can't
wait for that. Like that. Like he literally cares about the fans.
I mean, I love his movies. I watch some more than others.
Here's a question. Here's a question before you get into that. Do you think, does he care about the fans, or is his ego so big saying, here's the movie I would have gave you, so if you guys just would have fucking shut up, you could have made some money?
Snyder?
Yeah.
Well, I think. Well,
you think it's for the fans or the ego to say, here's something that's better than what you guys fucking gave everybody?
No, it's for the. I would say it's for the fans because wasn't the reason why he left was because his sister committed suicide or something? It was why he dropped out of the project.
I thought they kept fucking him See, here's the thing. I don't know the full story. So, like, what I heard, like, through, like, rumors and shit, like, was, like, they kept fucking with his stuff.
Oh, they like the creative control. I thought it was
Yeah.
more of like I thought he
Because they didn't
left.
like where he was going with stuff.
I thought he left because it was more of a mental health issue. I would have to look into that, but like bringing in Josh Whedon, I don't even know why they bothered doing that.
If you're going to
Um,
bring in anybody, you bring in Will Wheaton.
not
Be right
not
back.
not that I hate what he did with the Avengers movie and Age of Ultron movie. I didn't think he was the right person to step in. So I think now that kind of came back to um, feeling a little bit better about being back in the industry, I think it's to give the fans what they should have saw. You're going to get to see more Deathstroke. You're definitely going to get to see Darkseid. Probably a different looking Steppenwolf. Uh, it's reportedly over 4 hours long. So I don't know. I don't know how much new is added to it.
Sorry about that.
And he's back.
Oh, yeah. I need the Tom Green pants. Like, when he was drinking grape. What was he drinking? Was it grape juice? And then he was
The grape
pissing in a
juice.
bottle.
Yeah.
I need one of those. I need one of those setups.
Yeah, me too.
No, but with Whedon though, I agree. Like Avengers and Age of Ultron weren't bad movies,
No,
but
and like he
I would
has.
not have given. Like, see, the thing is though, um, with the Avengers, we had one, two, three, four, five, six. We had what, 6 movies before we had the first Avengers movie?
Uh,
Like,
if
because
you.
we had Captain America: First Avenger, we had all 3 Iron Mans, we had Incredible Hulk, we had the Thor. There was
So before the first Avengers movie, if you include the Incredible Hulk, you have Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, the Hulk, Thor, and Captain America: First Avenger. Then
yeah.
then Avengers.
Yeah, so you get all those to build up those characters so we can build the Avengers. And
Yeah.
then you get Batman v Superman, we're just going to throw them all together.
Yeah, I think
We
where
needed Man of Steel 2. That's what we needed first before Batman v Superman. We needed Man of Steel 2.
yeah, I think what they did was when they were starting to think about the DC universe, Marvel was already established. They'd gone
Yep,
through
they
all that.
panicked.
They'd gone through Avengers. I think Warner Brothers is like, we need to rush the story right now. We don't have time to do a slow burn, but they should have.
Mm-hmm.
They should have built the stories like the way they did with Marvel, because if you watch a lot of the earlier Marvels, like anything in Phase 1, like they're giving you hints to shit that doesn't happen until the end of Phase 3. Like they're planning, and that's what's great about WandaVision is that they're planting seeds in your head, and they're answering questions, like especially with WandaVision, they're answering questions that you had during Age of Ultron, which was almost 10 years ago. So it's just like, okay, we're going to answer your questions, but in 10 years. Like,
Well, speaking of WandaVision and everything like that, and Age of Ultron, what do you think of the Fox Quicksilver being in it?
I love it.
He's my Quicksilver.
I think it was great. I loved the Kick-Ass shout out, because you know how much I love that movie. That
well,
Easter egg
same.
that Easter egg was probably the best of the show, was the Kick-Ass one. I think it's great. One of my theories that's way the fuck out there is that that's Mystique, um, or possibly
Oh shit.
Morph possibly, or a Skrull.
You know what? We never got Morph.
No, not in the movies. We didn't. No.
But the funny thing is,
So
like, Morph, I didn't even know who the fuck he was except for the series, because he
yeah,
was never really prominent in the comics.
no, because yeah, and there's not a lot of shapeshifters. And like the Mystique thing is so half-assed, because I don't think if they're gonna center a franchise around an X-Men character again, they're not gonna choose Mystique again, because
And
she was the center of the Fox one. So I don't think they're gonna
and
put her at the forefront of the X-Men again.
Well, for some reason, they love to do it.
They love to do it.
But
Okay,
the thing is, still, like she's a good villain. Oh yeah, beer break.
I'll be right back. Yeah, she is a great villain. And we're back.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like the X-Men had so much potential. But like, to me, the X-Men was ruined in the first movie. The moment Wolverine didn't know who the fuck Sabretooth was.
Absolutely.
Remember, I bitched about that how many times? Probably that's all I've ever bitched about from the X-Men movies.
Well, and then that makes more sense to the fact that it just came out recently that Bryan Singer didn't allow them to have comics on the set because he didn't want the movie to be anything to do with the comics. He wanted it to be his vision of the X-Men. It was in
So no source material at all, guys.
No, so like what it came out is that so Kevin Feige was an intern at Fox at the time, and he would like sneak. Hugh Jackman did an interview, and Kevin Feige would sneak them comics on the set because Bryan Singer said they weren't allowed to have them.
No wonder Hugh Jackman and Cyclops were so good.
Right?
Like honestly, like the guy who played Cyclops was actually good.
He was definitely like that was good casting if you're going off the comics and the look
Yeah,
and the
he had the
attitude.
look of Cyclops, but the black leather, like no, like Wolverine needed the blue, like like he needed with the shoulder pads, and without that, you give him the brown, like that the yellow and brown outfit that he had.
I know he wore the yellow and blue in what was that? Days of Future Past. But he's never worn the mask in movies.
Never, which really is shocking. Like that's something that I'm surprised. Like all the time, like with Batman, he always has the mask. So I'm surprised they never really got that with Wolverine to give him the mask.
No, I think it was just more. There's the cat. I think it was just more. I think it was just more of like we need to see his face. Like like a lot of the superhero movies are like, okay, Tom Holland is Spider-Man, but we got to show him with his mask off a lot.
Yeah, but those are for the scenes when he's Peter Parker.
Exactly.
Like when Wolverine's being Logan. But when Wolverine needs to thrash and be Wolverine, put on the fucking mask.
Yeah. Do a berserker
like,
attack.
Hey, you don't have to have the perfect hair when you're in a fight to your death. Like never once. It's like, wait a second. All right, let's go. Like never.
That's America's ass.
Paul Rudd. I I fucking love him as Ant-Man.
Same.
But there's a problem though. Ant-Man is supposed to be almost as intelligent as Tony Stark. Like the actual guy, like in the original comic books, because he's the guy that made Ultron. It wasn't Tony Stark, it was Ant-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, they
made us like they were like a stoner dummy.
Yeah, he should have been as smart as Hank Pym.
He should have been. Yes, he should have been an apprentice. But like, hey, you're the guy that we brought on this because you're the only guy that can actually comprehend this shit.
No, they were probably like, okay, we cast Paul Rudd, let's make him goofy.
Yeah, but imagine a smart Paul Rudd because he tricks Conan O'Brien every time when he gives him the Mac and Me clip.
Oh, that's the best. The alien going the wheelchair.
Oh, that makes me laugh every time. Like you guys know he's going to fucking play it. Like Conan's like, why are we even playing it? We know it's Mac and Me, so just go ahead.
just play the damn thing.
Like he gets everybody with that clip. It's so good. But Snyder Cut though, what do you think about Jared Leto as the Joker?
I think it had potential at first. I wasn't a huge fan of Suicide Squad. It's okay.
Oh, I hated that movie.
It's one of those like I was saying on Twitter earlier today. There's some movies that get a one through, and that's about it. Like Venom. Like I'm probably not going to watch Venom again. I'll wait to see what Marvel does with them, but it's one of those ones where I just watch it once and okay, I'm done with it. Like it's not like the Dark Knight.
Venom was better than Suicide Squad.
It was, yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I'm just like it wasn't like I was hoping they would wait on Venom and not do him outside of the MCU, but they did anyways.
Well,
But
exactly. It's like what I was talking about. Like, imagine if we get, like, like, let's say, with Tom Holland, right? He gets a job with Daily Bugle, bumps into Eddie Brock that works there,
yeah,
then eventually becomes Venom in, like, Spider-Man 4, like, how they were trying to build up, like, in the Sam Raimi, they were trying to build up, the Lizard because they mentioned, Doc Connors a bunch of times.
and they even showed him with his amputated arm.
Exactly. And Spider-Man 2. Yeah, was it Spider-Man 2 that they showed him in? Yeah.
Yeah, outside of the university, he's walking and he's got the missing arm, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
the after credit scene in Spider-Man. Was it Spider-Man Homecoming where they see Scorpion in jail with the
Yes.
Vulture? Okay, and then like now with him being at the end of the Morbius trailer too, they're setting up for Sinister Six, which is great. It'll be a slow burn, but we'll get it.
See, if you want to do Sinister Six, you got to do it right. So you have to do it at Spider-Man 6.
And like I know you're a
But then
huge
you can't have Venom or anybody else get introduced, though.
No, I think they're just gonna carry through. But like I know you're a huge Morbius guy. How do you feel about Leto playing him?
You know what? I think with how everything would happen with the Joker, I think I honestly think he's going to do a good job because I liked him in he was in Requiem for a Dream, right? That was that movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Lost the arm.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, he was good in that movie. Like
yeah,
I've seen Jared Leto act. He can act. Like if you actually have a director that tells the guy what the fuck to do,
yeah.
they could deliver. It's like pro wrestling, for example, right? You can have Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior main event WrestleMania 6. It's either going to be colossally awesome or it's going to be a fucking train wreck. Because neither of those guys are known to put on like crazy matches. But the thing was, Hulk Hogan took control of that match.
Yes, he did.
Hulk Hogan's the man that called WrestleMania 3 against Andre. So out of those two players, if Warrior would have deviated from that plan, would have fucked everything up. Thank God you had someone strong like Hulk Hogan. And that's what the thing is. As long as you have that strong player that influences the other, like the director, the Jared Leto will be like, listen, man, this is what I need from you. If you give me what the fuck you gave me, if you gave that other guy there, you better go the fuck home.
Yeah,
But Michael Morbius is an intelligent scientist that became a vampire, like through an experiment. Like that's how it was in the Spider-Man cartoon. So I kind of hope they use that origin because I'm like Spider-Man,
they are like where he gets his spine healed.
like where he gets like where he becomes a vampire and everything like that. Like so, like I really hope that they stick with that because
From the
with Jared
from the
Leto,
trailer, that's what it looks like.
like if they go straight on left field, like we're saying he was bitten by a vampire and then this happens, like, well, to be honest though, I I don't know much about Morbius. As like the only things I know is from the Spider-Man cartoon is and from a bunch of Night Stalker comics, because the Night Stalkers are fucking awesome. That's
Yeah,
Blade, uh, Morbius, and another dude. They're like vampire hunters, and that is something if Marvel ever gets into that will be fucking awesome.
I would not with Sony's deal with Marvel right now and the Blade movie. I would not be surprised if you see Blade show up in a mid-credit scene in Morbius movie.
Well, or even Morbius show up at the end credit for the Blade movie to set up
That
Night
that,
Stalkers.
that too, yeah. Because just the fact that Vulture, like Michael Keaton's Vulture, is in the Morbius trailer, that just tells me that they're doing. Sony's gonna work with Marvel on everything.
Speaking of Michael Keaton being Vulture, how about apparently he's supposed to be in the Flash movie?
As Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like for Batman Beyond, and that's how you do it. And that's what gave me the idea for making Tobey Maguire the guy that you make Miles Morales come from his universe.
And it's also rumored that he's gonna play old man Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond.
As he should. Him
Yeah.
or Ben Affleck.
One of them, yeah.
Because to be honest, Batflick is not bad. Like I really liked him as Batman. I just really wanted him in a full movie. just as Batman because I really liked him. I thought like this one you can actually see that he put some heart in. Daredevil, it seems like he was just there.
I like him better as Batman. I like Christian Bale better as Bruce Wayne.
Yes. It's like this is how I am with Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire, good Peter Parker, horrible Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield, horrible Peter Parker, awesome Spider-Man. Tom Holland, best of both worlds.
Yeah,
because he gives you the geeky Peter Parker, and then he still does all the wisecracks.
Yeah,
because that's what Spider-Man is. He's a fucking nerd. He's a geek like us, who like he likes his science, he likes his shit. But then as Spider-Man, I'm a wise ass, and I'm gonna make fun of you.
Yeah, Spider-Man doesn't bring any of that science shit in there. That's all Parker.
Exactly. Tom Holland, the only thing that Peter Parker science brings in is the web shooters.
Yeah.
And that's why I love that he has the fucking web shooters. Like even Andrew Garfield, they show him tweaking and making web shooters.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing. And then think about it. With now that Marvel has the rights back to Daredevil and that Netflix universe, so now the Punisher can attack Spider-Man in New York.
Yeah.
We can actually get Punisher and a Spider-Man fucking thing, just like the comics, because that's where Punisher debuted.
Well, and Daredevil can show up in fucking both of them. Or, sorry, Deadpool.
Well, there's actually Deadpool and Spider-Man comic team-ups. Deadpool is going to replace Stan Lee, I think, for the cameos.
If they could ever, could you imagine, them doing a Disney Plus series of Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe?
That's definitely a what if, because there's comics like that, eh?
There is.
Deadpool kills the Marvel
series,
Universe.
Isn't it? Yeah.
When the Secret Wars happened, the third Secret Wars, when they brought the Ultimate Universe and the regular universe together.
Yeah.
You actually have people going around killing people. Like Punisher goes around and there's some good shit there.
People.
I can't wait. I want a Marvel Zombies movie.
I think they may do a series. They
it's a what if.
They already did
episode.
They already did Iron Man zombie and Spider-Man Far From Home.
Did you ever read the comics, the Marvel Zombies? No,
I have not.
They went on sale on the Marvel digital app. I got them. They're actually quite entertaining.
That's awesome. I'll have to check those out. There's just so much content to catch up on.
Oh, dude, you're telling me. I have some of those I haven't even read yet. Because when I picked them up, right? It's oh, you're picking up this one. So then somehow it's okay, I got episode 1, 2, and 3, but why do I got 8, 9, and 10 with these? Where's the rest of them?
Yeah.
I can't read 1, 2, and 3, then 8, 9, and 10. No, where's 5, 6, and 7? What the fuck?
It's like Lost Boys, and you're telling me you can't put.
It is. You can't keep the 67s with the 4 because they haven't even introduced Laura the Mars. I know I screw up his name, and you can't put the blah blah bloods with the blah bloods because they haven't even described Red Kryptonite yet. Where you from? Krypton, Phoenix, actually. But luckily, we ended up here.
It's so hard keeping up on the content. Even the Star Wars stuff is just too much to even.
But you know what though? As much as everyone talks about how great everything is today, movies like The Lost Boys destroy anything that's coming out today.
Oh yeah.
You put up a 2020 vampire movie, I'll put up Lost Boys against it. Lost Boys defeats it. Why? Because we had that oiled up saxophone, greased haired guy playing. I still believe.
So good.
The thing too, I guarantee you there's one producer. This movie is perfect. We don't need nothing. Then one guy say, I'll tell you what this movie fucking needs. This guy. Holy shit, you fucking book him now. No, Snyder Cut's going to be awesome. Like, no, this has been good. It's been good shooting the shit and everything. But here's a question.
Yeah.
Here's a question. We talked Star Wars, but what do you think about like all the fucking drama going on there now? I think it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like we were talking before, I think people just sometimes need to shut up and just
Well, that
do
was
their
all off
job.
camera. I don't think we had it during this shoot.
Yeah,
Could be
I think
wrong because we're drinking beers. I had like this many plus the other two on the ground, the other three on the ground.
yeah, I got a toddler to get up with in the morning, so
Exactly.
I got a few more points for you.
All right. So like,
I
how
mean,
crazy has it been though?
I think with any job, you should just kind of like shut up and do your job.
Yeah.
I get everybody has their own personal opinions and their own agendas and their own views. But when you work for a company as big as Disney, whether it's referencing the Holocaust, whether it's Black Lives Matters, whether it's using words that are like not appropriate now as they were like 20, 30 years ago.
Exactly.
I think you should just not put that out there.
No, it's true.
Even if that's your feeling, whatever. But chances are nowadays you put that shit on Twitter, you're gonna lose your job.
Oh yeah.
Like we've seen it with Gina, we've seen it with everybody. We saw it with even
Roseanne.
with Roseanne. We saw it with people trying to even cancel Chappelle for stuff that they didn't even know that he did, that he didn't even end up doing. Like that's the way the internet works. Is this all it takes is that little spark on the fire for it to just ignite.
But you know what the funny thing is though? The people that are coming out saying like, "Hey, we gotta fire this. Hey, we gotta cancel that," are the people that didn't support you to begin with. Like, were these the people that waited in line overnight to buy a Star Wars ticket for the movie? No, they were not. Are
No.
they the ones that waited up until midnight till that next episode aired so they can watch it? No. So the fact that like just catering to those people, like sure enough, like we could all agree, social media basically just post puppy pictures so you don't get in trouble.
Trouble
Because I've never
kitten
seen anyone get mad
videos,
at a puppy.
few food recipes.
Yeah, but when you there's like I grew up learning these things. There's three things you don't talk about: politics, religion, and I forget the third one because you don't talk about the first two. That's it.
Yeah.
That is it. And that's how it is here. Like sure it's a little political because we're talking about the situation, but like honestly though, like there is freedom of speech, but when is it time to say, hey, we gotta like we don't cancel it, but we gotta say like 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 honestly, do you think someone should lose a job over a tweet? Well, it
Yeah,
obviously depends what they tweet, right?
yeah, I
Like
think
it's like Chris Farley, if Chris Farley tweets out "kill Whitey" because it's just funny because it's from Tommy Boy, like quoting a line. That's just a joke.
yeah,
But if someone tweets something
I think
stupid,
in
we gotta take care of that.
in a certain context, yeah.
That's it.
I
Context.
think
Thank you.
I think people should be held accountable for what they say on social media if they're referencing their job or the industry they work in.
Yes.
But if it's something that's personal views, depending on what it is, like if you work for somebody and you're like out there openly supporting white supremacy or anything like that, and you're
Mhm.
like screaming it and telling people that like, okay, I'm a Nazi too, then maybe that may lose your job. Like,
It
like
definitely would. Like,
things like I'm going drinking on a Friday night or like partying with like that kind of stuff, whatever. But if you're
yeah,
doing some stuff that you
like you can do a
probably,
Stifler tweet. That's okay. Like I'm
yeah,
hanging out with my wang out. You can do that one.
yeah,
But
yeah,
when you
exactly.
say like, hey, blah 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 blah, no, no.
No, and that's the thing. It's all about context and like how you approach it
Yeah.
and what you put out there. And I think nowadays more than ever, like people are like real conscious about what they put out there. Some people aren't. That's why people have burner accounts and they just are out to watch the world burn and to fuck with you. And that's the
there's
internet.
also trolls living under the bridge too. But the thing though, like even Bill Burr came out, like he's like, she's been nothing but sweet, like on the set, like people want to cancel Harvey Cavill, or is it Cavill or Cavill?
Harvey
Cavill,
Keitel?
right?
Yeah.
Like Superman. Like they want to kill because he used to be her boy, like they used to date. Like who cares who you dated? Like that's like saying like, hey, Tommy Lee, we can't listen to you because you fucked Pamela Anderson. In fact, I want to give you a high five because you did. High five, Tommy Lee, because you also got friggin' what's her face, Melrose Place. She's so hot.
Heather Locklear?
Thank you. Well, she used to be so hot. I don't know how she is now because she's probably like 70. But still, she was a cougar then. She's a cougar now.
Coog, she was on 2.5 Men.
Was she?
I believe she was.
Was she? I know she was on what was that? Spin City, like when Michael J. Fox left and Charlie Sheen took over.
That I'm confused. I'm thinking Charlie Sheen, but he took over for Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, on Spin City, right? That one?
Right, yeah.
Oh, she looked dynamite.
So is this Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yes. But yeah,
I'm at the end of that.
But yeah, like there's a lot of craziness. Like in all fairness, I don't think she should be fired for what she said on a tweet. Like I think it's something bigger than that. Like you know what I honestly think it is? This is to me just because I'm a conspiracy guy, because me and my Spider-Man shirt, but here's what I think it is. I think Kathleen Kennedy is fucking butthurt that The Mandalorian is so accepted by the fandom and the sequel trilogy isn't. She is pissed off that people aren't accepting Rey as the raw woman character, but they're like, Cara Dune is a fucking great character.
Yes, she is.
Like the way she carries herself as a character, and the fans accept that. The fact that Kathleen Kennedy has nothing to do with it, I think she's just a little jealous. Because to be honest, if I was responsible for The Last Jedi and the backlash, I don't know.
Well, and that's why the Mandalorian had such an effect, because the fans were happy that they made Luke.
Favreau wasn't happy.
No, the Mandalorian. They made Luke look like Luke Skywalker is supposed to look.
Yes.
Like when he showed up and just started wrecking shit and holding droids to the roof and crushing them with his hand. That's Luke Skywalker. The first introduction you have to him, Rey hands him the lightsaber and he tosses it behind him.
That pissed me off.
That's not what Luke would do.
The only one thing I had as a defense, during the Last Jedi, because I kind of want just to try to get some views. Was you know what? I'll try to go and defend this movie. I watch them I can't. But the only thing I could defend was well, Leia gets sucked out into space and they bring her back. She's not dead. You never heard of a force field?
It's like you're.
That was the only bad joke I had. That was all I had.
It's like you're about to watch it and you're Hawkeye in Endgame. Don't give me hope.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so, for the fact that there's so many rumors out there that they're going to say fuck this sequel trilogy and they're going to redo it. Don't give me that. Don't put that carrot in front of me.
No.
Because what Favreau is doing right now is fucking awesome. Him and Filoni, Mandalorian is fucking awesome.
He's money and he doesn't even know it.
Well, that's the thing. He's going swingers on everybody and they don't even know it.
No.
Gretzky seeing blood. That's the thing.
Don't make me bust your head open.
Exactly.
Okay, we're at 1:30 here. My time.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. It's been that time? All right. You know what? I'm getting that full of my beer.
I I got a toddler, y'all.
You know what,
I
Beers
gotta
and
get up in the
Geeks?
morning with him.
It's time to say that we're gonna wrap up this little video chat. We're gonna catch you next time. Classic Chris saying cheers, friends.
Good to see you, buddy.